And so to tonight's program, our first interview with Nick Brooks. He said, "Don't call me Nicholas, only my mother calls me Nicholas." And the presentation he did at the boardroom of the Port Moresby Chamber of Commerce on how they proceeded and how the public opinion had started to dictate the development of the waterfront and the harbour front in Hong Kong. Nick, welcome to Business Plus PNG, and welcome to Papua New Guinea, although you told me earlier you've been here before.
Yes, I was here some years ago. 1988, I believe, I ran your first marathon.
Okay. It wasn't my first marathon. I've never run a marathon in my life.
I ran Port Moresby's first marathon, and it was around the airport.
Okay.
We ran round and around the airport a number of times, and at that stage I had to have a police escort.
That's a long time ago. Coming back, were you surprised to see the changing face of Port Moresby?
Well, I was, but I have been back several times since on business and on pleasure, and I've seen the gradual development of Port Moresby over the years. I see the pluses and the minuses, if I may put it that way.
Talk to me about the pluses and the minuses. What are some of the pluses?
Well, the pluses are the infrastructure, obviously, and the urban fabric, as I call it. I think one senses an absence of perhaps planning in a number of cases, and some of the developments seem out of place and inappropriate. But I think that's part of the learning curve, quite frankly, at this stage in the development of an economy.
You gave a presentation to some members of the Port Moresby Chamber, and thank you for that. It was fascinating on sharing your experiences on the harbour front developments in Hong Kong. You've been in Hong Kong for a long time. Clearly, you have a love of the place. Is that necessary for someone here who's going to do the same thing with our harbour?
I think you have to care, and I'd even say you have to have a passion about the topic or the subject. And I mean, in Hong Kong, as I sense here, the harbour is an integral part of the urban fabric. It's part of the past, the present, and the future. And I sense the same history and heritage applies here.
It's a bigger harbour. I mean, you mentioned, I think, 73
kilometres of waterfront,
yes. Waterfront, right through on the island and on the Kowloon side. A little bit smaller here, but still great potential, you see, as you look around the fabric of our harbour.
Yes, well, as I said today, I mean, the challenge with Hong Kong, even for Hong Kong, 73 kilometres is a huge area to absorb. So we're starting, in terms of this new authority, we're starting with modest beginnings, if you like, in terms of our aspirations and our plans. We're trying a model which is essentially bottom-up, so encouraging a whole range of initiatives at community level, parks, gardens, promenades, things which the community can become involved with, and then they develop a sense of ownership.
Just explain to me this, and to the viewers, there was a commission originally.
Right.
You're now moving to an authority with real powers given to you by government?
Well, we moved, as you say, we actually moved from committee to commission, and we're now moving to authority. In Hong Kong, and I don't know what the situation is here, but government accepts and understands it can't deliver the quality of waterfront that we do in Hong Kong.
I don't think we've quite convinced them of that yet, Nick.
Okay.
Politics sort of pervades everything in Papua New Guinea. I mean, that's clearly for us going to be a bit of an impulse to getting this. But is that a way forward? Is that what you were saying to us, that if you can get either a commission, so we need to have a committee of good men and true, good men and women and true, to make a start on saying this is what we want for our harbour in the heart of our city. Yeah.
I think you do. Yes, you do. You need a committed group who take on board the issue, if you like. What's interesting is that we found that the harbour in Hong Kong is apolitical. Everybody cares about it. Everybody realises it's an important asset. Everybody cares about it. So in terms of the general direction, we found that the political parties unanimously support the way forward. They may differ on some of the detail, but in terms of the importance of the harbour and the project.
You're also here for other business. ABAC is in town, and you've got you were chatting to some of the valuers. Talk to us a little bit about your role there.
Well, ABAC has secured the support of the ministers and leaders to the enhancement of valuation standards. it was seen as one of the main reasons for the financial crisis, that valuations were not transparent and values were not robust as they should be. So there is a support from leadership in APEC that we should seek to enhance valuation standards and the valuation profession across the 21 APEC economies. And hence I've been talking to your valuers here as to how we might help with the situation here in Papua New Guinea.
Quite pertinent, as I said, the Valuer General just has done another assessment after a long period in Port Moresby, and that's, I think a lot of people were really concerned, and of course the development you're seeing, property prices and property values have clearly improved. Undeveloped property, a couple of years ago there were some politicians thought they would tax on developed.
Oh, I see.
And, so I mean, if you can try and dismiss that myth, you would be doing as a
I mean, I've just been talking to some of the valuers just before the interview, and my sense is we can contribute, particularly in the area of training. Particularly, there aren't necessarily the skills here in country in all these areas of valuation that people are facing. So bring some valuers from outside here and have some workshops and some training sessions.
Nick, wonderful to talk to you. You've clearly got two real big issues there. I mean, particularly interested, and I hope that you'll be back and the government will sort of talk to you about the development of a harbour, Fairfax Harbour, which we think is an icon as well.
Right.
And we want to see it developed, and clearly you've got 40 years of experience on it. So I'm wondering if I need to be on that first committee.
I think you should. I will encourage you to be. Yes, I encourage you to be.
Have to start somewhere.
Yes. You know, a group of people who care.
Okay.
Start with that.
Nick, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your trip to Port Moresby. We hope to see you back in town again.
You will. Thank you very much. Thank you.